Hello everyone. In this video we're exploring the capability of one test to store a variable that will be later used by another test. The scenario I chose is an asynchronous API. One test will trigger the execution of a job. The API will return a job ID we will store, and another test will later check whether the job succeeded or not. For the purpose of this test, I am using a static mock, so do not expect many surprises. Let's create the first test, and I will call start job. I am starting this from scratch from a stored API call. And you can see this API call returns a job ID and a Boolean. So I will go with magic because it's faster. And here's my test draft. Now, what I'm doing is I am setting a variable. I will call job ID and I will provide the path to the value that I want to store. Okay. Now keep in mind that when you set a variable within the test, you are actually setting it in the test execution scope. So when the test execution is over, the variable is gone as well. So how do we persist that over time? We will use the update input command, and I will provide the variable name job ID. So what this command will do is it will check whether a variable named job ID is present in the current input set. If not, we'll check in the global parameter. If not, we'll check in the vault. If the variable is present in the vault, it will update that. If the variable is not present in the vault, it will create it. Okay. Also, keep in mind that if I run this test from within the composer, the update input will not alter neither the input set or the vault. And the reason is when you are composing your test, you're tweaking it, you don't want to alter something that may have an influence on running scheduled test. So let's run this and you will see the test passes, but the variable is not actually updated. So I save and exit, and I publish it. Okay, so if now I run it officially, because from the test list that is an official run, and that succeeded. If I go on the vault now, and my project is named various, I have one variable here. Click on variable, and the variable is actually our job ID that our update variable command created. Now let's use it. Let's create a new test that I will call check job. Okay. Let's make the call. It's a get. It's check job. And it requires in the URI the job ID. So if I go $curly bracket job ID, you see the composer is actually suggesting me the variable because that's in the scope. I will assign it to payload, and I expect either a 200 or, because I can, a 418 in the case the job is not finished. Okay. Now what I can do here is if payload underscore response status code equals to 200, then assert equals payload dot status equals to done. Now, since also the composer has access to the vault in read mode, this test will probably succeed. And it does. And you can see that the ID that is shown here is the one that is stored in the vault. So I can save it publish it. So first I run, to summarize, I run start job and then check job to complete the process. Of course, in a real world scenario, start job will always generate a new job ID, and check job will always check a different job ID.